Today we're diving deep into a remote Indian island that's suddenly at the very center of a massive geopolitical showdown. This is the story of the Great Nicobar project. It's a hugely ambitious plan that could totally reshape the power dynamics in the Indo-Pacific, and it has one global superpower really nervous. So let's get into it.
Look, what we're talking about here is way more than just new buildings and roads. This is a strategic masterstroke, and the stakes for global trade and security are absolutely massive. It's basically India planting its flag on the world stage like never before. Now, if you're into deep dives like this, do us a solid and hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss what's coming next.
All right, so first things first, what is the Great Nicobar project? Let's just break down the sheer scale of what India's planning here. We are talking about a 72,000 crore rupee mega initiative. To put that in perspective for you, that's about $9 billion US. The Modi government gave this the green light back in 2021. And listen, this isn't some short-term fix. It's a 30-year vision to completely remake this island from the ground up. Okay, so the whole plan is built on four really powerful pillars. First up, a massive transshipment port that's meant to compete directly with giants like Singapore. We're talking a capacity of 14.5 million shipping containers a year. It's huge. Second, a brand new international airport that can handle big, heavy aircraft. Third, a powerful energy plant to make the whole island self-sufficient. And finally, a modern township, a whole new city really, for about 65,000 people. You put all that together, and what you get is a powerhouse of both economic and military strength. So here's the most crucial takeaway. This project isn't just about money or trade. You have to see it for what it is, a direct and very calculated countermove to China's string of pearls. That's their network of Chinese-funded ports and military outposts that kind of strategically surrounds India. Well, New Delhi is now building its own pearl, and it is a very big one. Now, to really truly understand the power of this project, you have to look at a map. It all comes down to its location, which is right next to one of the most important waterways on the entire planet. The Great Nicobar Island sits right at the mouth of the Malacca Strait. This narrow little passage is the superhighway for ships moving between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. And get this, over 60% of all global maritime trade and about a quarter of all goods traded in the entire world passes right through this choke point. It's not an exaggeration to call it a lifeline of the global economy. And for one country, that lifeline is also a major vulnerability. A staggering 80% of China's oil imports are shipped right through the Malacca Strait. So any disruption here, any blockage, could bring its entire economy to a grinding halt. This is what experts call Beijing's Malacca dilemma. And this right here perfectly illustrates why India's military sees this project as a total game changer. Just listen to former Naval Chief Admiral Karambir Singh. He called these islands a springboard for operations. See, that new port and airport, they aren't just for cargo. They're built to allow for the rapid deployment of warships, submarines, and fighter jets, giving India the ability to project serious power right over this critical choke point. And believe it or not, India's position here just got even stronger. In what was a major diplomatic win, Singapore recently backed India's plan to join the Malacca Straits Patrol, working alongside countries like Malaysia and Indonesia. This gives India an official seat at the table in securing the strait, boosting its surveillance and its presence in the region even more. So all of this naturally brings us to the core of the issue, China's reaction. Let's break down exactly why this project is causing so much anxiety and nervousness in Beijing. What you're seeing here are two competing visions for the entire region, playing out in real time. On one side, you've got India's Act East policy, which is all about building partnerships. And on the other, you have China's string of pearls, which many see as a clear strategy of strategic encirclement. The Great Nicobar project is, without a doubt, India's boldest move yet in this high-stakes chess game. So what is it that really keeps Beijing up at night about this? Well, first and foremost, it's the threat to its supply chains. The idea that India could monitor and maybe even one day disrupt that flow of oil and goods, that is a nightmare scenario. Second, it adds to China's fears of being encircled, especially with India working so closely with its Quad partners, the US, Japan, and Australia. Third, it directly challenges China's growing naval dominance in the area. And finally, on a purely economic level, this new port could literally steal away cargo traffic from other Chinese-backed ports in the region. But here's the thing. While India is making these incredibly bold moves on the world stage, the project is sparking some complex and really heated debates back home. And this is where key figures in India's domestic politics, like veteran opposition leader Sonia Gandhi, come into the picture. As a really influential voice, her perspective represents a big part of the national conversation. And it's a good reminder that not everyone in India is on board with the government's strategic vision here. And it's figures like Sonia Gandhi who are really shining a light on the other side of the story. She's been a vocal critic, raising some very serious concerns about what this project could do to the island's unique ecosystem and, just as importantly, the rights of its indigenous tribes. This really gets to a central tension inside India, that push for strategic power versus the very real environmental and human costs of development. It's important to see this whole project as just one piece of a much larger puzzle. India frames its entire maritime strategy under something called the Sagar Doctrine. That stands for Security and Growth for All in the region. The official goal is to be a kind of net security provider, working with partners to create a stable and open Indo-Pacific. The Great Nicobar Project? Well, that's the sharpest edge of that doctrine. Which brings us right back to the central question, doesn't it? Is the Great Nicobar Project a genius strategic masterstroke to secure India's interests and maybe even bring more stability to the region? Or is it a really risky escalation in an already tense part of the world that could backfire badly? So, what do you think? I really want to know. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Is this India's moment to checkmate China's expansion? Or is the environmental and human price just too high to pay? If this explainer helped you get your head around the stakes, please do us a favor and hit that like button. And for more deep dives that break down the huge forces shaping our world, make sure you are subscribed to the channel.